Ladies and gentlemen, we are live!
I was about to say this went off without a hitch, and I got everything going without any issues, but then I realized I didn't turn the camera on. This is my phone. Let's switch back. No one wants to see me that close. Good Lord. Ladies and gentlemen, what is up? Let me go right away. Bring in the guest. Button. Okay, I should probably... It would not be a Nerdzoic live stream if everything worked correctly. Let's fix this. And boom. There it is. Look at that. St. Michael, I think. Down. Yeah. Sorry, wrong live stream there on that one. But that one funded. So now we're working on the next one. And we'll get there slowly. We have Bible-ish things going on. So we're kind of close.
There we go.
In fact, it's funny. When I was talking to Chris 2 weeks ago, he's like, yeah, people keep confusing the line. People are messaging me saying, hey, I really like the Archangels. That one's not mine, but thank you. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Doing real good.
How you feeling? You're like coming down here on the home stretch of the Kickstarter.
Home stretch. Yeah, it's good. Well, I don't know if you saw, we opened up to Big Bad Toy Store over the weekend. And we've already sold over 1,000 units, so
really?
They're going to be pumping that right into the Kickstarter. So
they sold 1,000 units already.
They sold 1,000 units, yeah.
Maybe I'm moving slow. I was purposely not putting this up yet because I figured, like, I don't want to. I did the same thing with the other two. So, Nerdzoic.com, my store. You guys, Biblical Adventures, and what's the other one that was just out? Savage Crucible. Yeah, I'm carrying all of you, but I'm like, I'll just wait till the Kickstarters are done, then I'll put everything up. Who's going to want to buy from me now when the Kickstarter's still alive? So apparently that was a mistake. Oops.
That's all good.
Yeah, but yeah, I'll be
getting
mine
contingent upon it. So.
What's that?
Yeah, it's all contingent upon like the actual funding. So that's one thing
that is true. That is true, and that's the other reason I don't do it because we do cash up front, and I don't feel like doing refunds if that ends up happening.
Right.
All right, let me see here, because I haven't looked since Friday where we were at on this. So it's like 55%, 58,000 out of 97?
60% now. It's been growing over the weekend as well. I think the Big Bad Toy Store has been kind of helping people.
Yeah.
Also come to the project. Yeah, we're about 58,518 right now. So we're a little over. Oh, now I went back up to 58.7. So yeah, we're going up. Yep, just went up.
I feel like I'm watching the Save Walter White telethon here with these numbers going. It's fantastic. Yeah. That's awesome, man. So the Big Bad's numbers hit this yet?
Not yet. No, I'm gonna wait till about Tuesday or Wednesday, see where we're at, and then we'll put them in.
All right. Yeah, I would say just from my own personal experience, the sooner the better. Because
oh yeah, no, I'm gonna.
Yeah, I know that we saw the Big Bad kick like 2 weeks ago with Biblical Adventures. It like doubled overnight.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I put Big Bad in. I'm like, well, crap. Now I know like how far of wrongs below I am. But yeah, that's awesome. I can't wait to get these up. I think they're going to do awesome. So yeah, everybody in the chat, let me just kind of touch base and say hello to people. We go all the way up. Joe is here. What is up? This random person, JD30, who is definitely not a business contact, he's here. James Salzberg, what's up, brother? Who else we got? JD30, it's not Red Dead. It is basically what happens in an alternate future where I am essentially all that's left to protect you, like the last gunslinger, if you will. The Todd father crushed it on the notion of crowdfunding. I'll tell you what. Those of you who are into like the really nerd stuff like me and go back to 90s wrestling saw a crowdfund launch today that was like, there's nothing that makes me whip my wallet out faster than 90s wrestling stuff. I still didn't fund it, but Nitro, give me that stage. All right, so we're going to have, I see a lot of questions about what is this line? Oh, and you guys are drinking beer. I don't have anything. My bartender's at kickboxing class, which is why the stream started late. Look at him. He's got it. me add that to my list of things.
Yeah.
I sent her a text already. I said, hey, can you bring me down water when you get in? Also, alcohol. Excellent. Yeah, so tonight was supposed to be, the original plan was I had Little League practice, which I coach, get home, and then do this at 8. We usually get home by like 7:15. Then it rained and they canceled practice, so my wife said, hey, I'm going to kickboxing class then. So I had to put the kids to bed really quick, which I started at 7:15. So
Oh yeah.
I think I sang 3 different renditions of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is always a blast. All right. We got 30 guys in here now. So for those of you who are new and did not see the last live stream that I did with Mr. Dacre here, Dacre the Toy Maker, this is Almighty Legend, the other biblical Kickstarter. In a world where, yeah, look at that. That's pretty sweet. In a world where we never seem to have enough good toys, somehow in quarter 1/2 of 2023, we had 3 amazing Kickstarters at the same time, which you guys probably should have concurred or something. Like, let's space this out. I said that to Chris. I'm like, man, you guys did a hell of a job putting that all together, like within days of each other.
Yeah.
But now I think those 2 are done, officially funded. You'll be funded here in a few days, I think. So yeah, everyone did good. That's awesome. Yeah. I think we got the next toy Kickstarter is going to end up being Shartimus Prime Street Humans. I think that's right around the corner from when I talked to him last. So,
but there's a guy that's doing the ninjas. They're doing like a O-ring ninja figures now.
I haven't even seen those.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a big O-ring figure guy. I don't really care for figures that are modern retro. Just not my thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I want like even something that's mainstream, like the Mythic Legions, the Masters of the Universe Origins figures. I bought the first wave and ended up selling them just because I was like, why did I buy these? Like, they're the same thing, just with articulation, and yeah, it was a bad decision. Bad decision. So, do you want to go through and tell us all about Almighty Legends?
Sure. So, just kind of brief you guys. Almighty Legends. It's enter the world of Almighty Legends, where ancient truth and myth tell a story beyond time. These action figures will fill the imagination of both the 1/12 collectors and also the classic 1/18 as well. Our first series is going to include the 3 archangels, which is Gabriel, Michael, and Raphael, along with the 4 horsemen: conquest, famine, war, and death, also known as Azrael. So we have it in there, and they're all going to have about 50 points of articulation, including the wings. So their armor's all going to be removable, interchangeable. You'll get basically a base body, and you'll get parts, and they're modular, so you can create your own. Like, you can create your own army builder or your own angel that you'd want to for your armies. Yeah, so you see that those are the photo. Those are going to be actually the packaging art right there. For each of the figures, they're all going to come in a classic old family Bible style, kind of like with Biblical Adventures, but ours is going to be more closed clam without the clamshell, the clear clamshell in it. And then, yeah.
I'm liking War. He's got a Hellboy thing going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and the way we're gonna do is we'll have he'll have his feet will be we'll have either human feet or like boot feet, and then also have a hoof feet as well.
Nice.
So those will plug in, and then
who might be my favorite one.
And he'll have another head too, which is going to be more of a bird style helmet that will go over his head. This is the more conquistador style.
Azrael.
Yeah,
which
and
we
the
saw
first
a prototype
wave
of already.
Yeah, we have the prototypes for Azrael and Gabriel, and then we have a base that's going to come with them as well. It's going to be a 4-inch base. Actually, I got one right here. I'll show you. I guess they call it the 2-up.
There's that packaging he was talking about.
Yeah.
There's a base. Now, The
Yeah, this
base
is a
was
lot
one
bigger
of the
than
things that
what's
I
going to
liked the
be.
most. Yeah, now you can do it. Show it off.
Yeah. But the nice thing is you can take like a tap light, a 2-inch tap light, you'll put in it, and it will light up. It'll light up all the flames that go around it, and it'll be like this really cool like display to put on your shelf.
Now, is that something that comes with one of the figures, or is that a standalone?
That's going to come with all the figures in this wave. So
wow,
all the
okay.
deluxe figures are going to get that now. So, and then if in future waves, if we do like a second run of them, those will be separate. This is what's going to help separate it and give it that more collectible value to it as well.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So you guys will notice the pricing here, $45 per figure. Even though it does not help me any, I will encourage you to buy them here at the Kickstarter, because once they hit retail, the price goes up. Not by a lot, but it's definitely better to buy it now for you. Unless you don't really like, unless you're like, burning money, you're like, I don't care, whatever. Then sure, knock yourself out.
Yeah, because you're going direct to consumer with the Kickstarter.
Oh, man. So, I asked you really quick. I'm doing two things at once. Yeah, Shartimus is relaunching later this year. I talked to him recently. I told him, like, hey, whatever you need, tell me, bro. Not that I have a tenth of the audience of you, but I at least have some business knowledge. That's about all I can bring to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how you feeling? You excited? You nervous?
Excited, nervous.
You definitely seem looser than the last time we talked. You seem a lot less stressed.
Oh, it's down here.
Yeah.
Pushing it all down this little tight ball.
That's what you're supposed to do. That's healthy.
Yeah.
Very healthy.
Very healthy. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you're doing well. I'm really excited because when all of these launched, I was actually really nervous for both of the biblical ones, because I was worried because Savage Crucible was getting such a big push, and it really took people by storm, and it didn't have the Bible influence. So anybody who, there seems to be a small section of the audience who just wants nothing to do with it, and that's fine, do your own thing. But I was worried it was going to hurt funding, but it certainly hasn't, which is awesome. It's really cool to see. So let's kind of talk nuts and bolts for a little bit here, because I know people love hearing this crap. The real stuff. So when are you thinking this will pump out of factories? Like, when are you expecting on-shelf dates?
I'm hoping shelf date's going to be around December of 2024. I'm trying to under-promise and hopefully over-deliver. So
the Hasbro model.
Yeah. So I'm hoping it's going to be sooner than that. Yeah. So I'm shooting for 2024 by Q4. But again, the nice thing is I'm working with an actual toy company, the Power Kid Design. They have a manufacturing already set up and so I don't have to worry about that side of things. So we're actually going to be, once this gets done, we're going to be put into the schedule, and we should have everything get going really soon.
Oh, that's awesome, because I know that one of the bigger hurdles for people is getting that manufacturing stuff set up and managing it from the other side of the world.
Right.
So
yeah.
It's nice having somebody else help you with that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that can go wrong with it if you don't have somebody who's been doing it. So it's good that you got a team to help you with that. Let's see. Let me hit the comments again. I'm looking to see if there's any pictures I haven't really played with too much. Actually, before I hit the
one comment I get a lot. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
Oh, no, I was saying one comment I get a lot of is where's Lucifer in the whole mix of things, and it's actually he is built into the whole Kickstarter.
Oh.
It's your job to make your own Lucifer, the accuser.
So what you do is you go buy the Marvel Select Mephisto, and then you're good.
Yeah. Or you get yourself what's his name? Sabak.
Yes. You can get that thing for like $20 now. Yeah,
that's what I did.
Yeah, they must have gotten really excited with the numbers they were selling, in COVID because his numbers pumped up so high for a while.
Yeah.
And like you couldn't give the stuff away. One of my distributors was trying to sell me cases of the Batman figures for, I think it was $9 a case. And I still said it was too high. I'm like, I can't move them. No one wants them. I got to pay people to take these. Unmasked Batman with a dirt head and wandering eyes.
The movie ones? Yeah.
Yeah, they were terrible.
Yeah.
How close is this to funding? Uncarded review. So it's at 60%, but it has not had any of the retail partners funding added. I don't know this, but I would guess that once that gets added, it'll kick it right over. So
yeah, we'll be right over.
If you're worried about this not funding, I wouldn't be. I know that from watching other similar Kickstarters with toys, once the retailer stuff gets added in, it sometimes doubles where it's at. So if you're one of those people who are like, well, I'll wait and see if it funds, don't do that. All right, where am I?
Every pledge counts.
That's right. Everyone does. And I'm trying to get the good mojo up so that when I need to do something like this in like 2034, I built up a ton of karma.
There you go.
All right, let's see. Where was I last? Oh, so Street Humans, completely off the subject, but no, not at all. I think it's a fantastic idea. You guys know I love every single independent line because it takes away that whole evil corporate machine thing. The more independent lines you can see get made. But Shartimus's line is Street Humans, which is basically civilian figures with pop and swap parts so that you can have a alien character, or you can use it in the background with your other stuff. I think it's a really cool idea. So no, not sarcastic at all. I really am hoping it works out. Wyatt, how you doing, brother? I feel like I run into you either at every live stream I hold or whenever I pop into someone else's comments to troll or lurk. I tend to do that. I'll just go in there and just put the lurking eyes and that's it. All right, we talked about funding. All right, uncarded reviews pledged on day one. Awesome. You the man. 88 Figs got his off of BBTS. What is up? Thank you.
Yeah, 88 Figs. Yeah.
Those numbers go in there. So do you have prototypes still, or did you send them out?
They're right now in the hands of D Amazing.
Oh, good man. I would have suggested that, actually.
Yeah, he sent me a few photos. Haven't heard from him a couple of weeks, but I'm sure he's just really busy working on them. And then, so then I'm going to have him send to another photographer after that. What's that?
You sending him to Jay? Is he sending him to Jay Hernandez?
I don't know if it's Jay. Let me see who it was, because everybody has different names when you go onto Instagram. I think it's somebody you knew. Here he is. No, I can't find him now, of course. That's why it's live.
I've seen a lot. I know D and Jay specifically. I see them do a lot of work with different Kickstarters and working with the prototypes, getting cool figure or getting good pictures out of them. So I look forward to that. So everyone keep an eye out for D Amazing to have those. He does fantastic work himself.
He sent a few of the pictures on Big Bad Toy Store are his and 88 Figs, along with Figure Kingdom and Realm of Toys 89.
Oh, 88 Figs, who was here? Look at that.
Yeah, he was actually his are the ones. He was the first one to get the prototype. He knocked it out of the park with his stuff.
Nice. Figure Kingdom, I've done work with him. He's a phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no, they all did amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, Yimbo toy photographer and reviewer.
Okay, I don't know that one.
Yeah,
Uncarded Reviews has the official list, and that's pretty accurate. The amazing Jay Hernandez, the king of balancing anything, and my friend over at Dorklair are probably the top three. But Dorklair's backed up with Mythic Legion stuff at the moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey, we got a keyboard guy. Look at that.
And I'll probably see him at the ChrisCon this year. Oh, look at
that. Nice. Yeah, that's my cheers to the keyboard fellas. Trevor from 1/6 Shooter. He does. Ironically, I was working on a video earlier today where I talk about all of the toy lines that are not made by Hasbro or Mattel. And I have like 15 of his pictures in there from various things. And he doesn't have all of them watermarked. So I had to make a 1/6 shooter watermark to put on his pictures to make it look right. Some of these, sometimes I get into random things. It makes no sense. So let me see. I'm going to head over to Big Bad here, see if I can find some of these pictures that they did.
And while I do that, I'll show these. These are the STL files. They were printed, designed by Tristan Castillo. You kind of see that one a little bit. Let's make a good shot of it. So that's the Broken Michael. And then we have a True Seraphim.
Very nice.
And then we're also doing an Ophanim. Which, if you follow like biblical lore, you'll know that like it's just this crazy.
You need to get yourself a pair of like tweezers just for that stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say I have them somewhere. Ta-da!
It's hard for me to touch it because I have like a sensory thing. It's like touching like I can feel all the ridges.
Oh well, let me just tell you, sensory thing and just touching random things. So I'm working on a video on how to make your figures stand with like, action figure stands, reviewing them, finding the ultimate solution. One of the things I've tested is blue tack, which is basically poster putty. It is freaking everywhere right now because I have the worst ADD. It's stuck in my hand. It's in my knuckles because I'm just sitting here going like this all day playing with this stuff like a child. And now it's everywhere. And my wife is going to murder me when she does laundry. It's fantastic. Let's see. So I do have some cool pictures to share you guys from Big Bad, but I want to just kind of check in here. Craven the Collector as opposed to the Hunter. I really need to watch a review on those prototypes. Only drawback is over a year wait time. Yeah, I hear you, man. The year wait time's tough. But remember what he said. What is it? Under promise and over deliver. So, especially you got to get in the schedule for this stuff. And it seems like every single toy line runs into even Hasbro, they all run into surprise hiccups. So he's factoring the hiccups in as opposed to what we see a lot of lines do where they just say coming in March of 2024. Then in March it says April, then May, then June. 4 years later it comes out.
Oh yeah.
No, Play-Doh does not stick to figures well. By the way, let me see if I have anybody like trying to get the stuff off the bottom of my figure. Some of the stuff I used, I'm like, well, this was a bad idea. Like, ironically, going into making this video, I thought it was going to be a really simple video because I thought I knew the answer, but then it turned out I didn't. Waiting on some, like, I'm literally, like, researching what museums do to hold stuff down.
I use, there's a white tack that I use. Not the blue one, but there's a white one. It's Gorilla makes it.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. Now I'll add that to the list. I have...
Let's see it here.
So many things. Check this out.
Oh, come back.
First off, we have sticky tabs, double-sided. We got large ones, medium ones. I got small ones. I got blue tack. I got off-brand tack. I got other tack. Look at you. You got the Gorilla tack. Oh, I'm staying away from the off-brand stuff. There's a thing called museum wax that my buddy told me about last night.
Oh yes, we used to use that in the when I worked in antiques. So we had museum wax. Yeah.
So I bought a bottle of it last night off of Amazon. So that's the next test to see if it ends up in my hair or anything. I don't even have hair. So who knows? All right, you guys ready for some good pictures? Let's see if I can do this right. I did it right. All right. So, first off, that's Azrael, right?
Yes.
Okay. We can see how good my knowledge is of anything.
Or AKA death.
Yeah. It's funny. As I'm getting through all this Kickstarter stuff, I'm like, man, I need to read my Bible. My knowledge is lacking lately. The only time I really knew what I was looking at was anytime Biblical Adventures, their stuff's based on a lot of art. And if you grew up in an Italian family, art of Jesus was literally everywhere. So I'm like, hey, it's my grandma's house. Hey, it's my mom's house as I look at that stuff. It's even my house. I got a crucifix above the front door. So it's like, yeah, look. All right. So are these 88s or are these Figure Kingdom? Any idea?
I think that one is I'm gonna say that one is actually D Amazing.
That's D? Okay.
He was able to get more of a purple and the blue in the lighting.
I don't know how those guys do this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's D Amazing there.
Nice.
Yep.
Almost looks like he's flying there.
Yeah. It's hard because the wings the wings that I have are just like test prints, so they're not meant to really be posed.
I would imagine none of these are, right? They're just your, wow, I'm having a moment. Your prototypes, so they can break pretty darn easily.
Oh yeah, they do. And then so he's got two heads. If you notice, like he's got a raven head, and he's also got a paladin head, for like a knight style.
I'm digging this one.
Yeah, and the hood is removable. There's 88 figs right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love the lighting there, 88. Yeah. I just followed you, by the way. I didn't notice. I don't know how I didn't know you already, but your work looks great. I've been looking at it.
Yeah, Mark does an amazing job. Yeah, that's him right there, too.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah. I can only imagine how unnerving it is to play with the multi-$1,000 prototype.
Well, I was at an airport at Joe Fest, and I ended up talking to Jason Bienvenue. And we had known each other because when he was first started his AWOC stuff, I'd always wanted to help him out, see what I could do for him. And we met up in the airport, and I was showing him the figure, and he moved a wing and just snapped it, a whole part of it off. I'm like, oh!
I'd have froze and been like,
yeah,
my bad.
But I mean, it happens. So,
yeah. Oh my God, that would scare the crap out of me. Yeah. What about so what's your convention schedule look like this year? Are you going anywhere with any of this stuff?
Oh yeah, a lot of local ones we got going on. We have Wicked Con, which is our big Boston comic book convention in April, and then we're gonna do then in June or July we have two. We have Joe G.I. Joe convention. It's a nice local spot, but he does cheap tables. Nice. You got 3 for $75.
Ooh.
So yeah,
it is cheap.
And then I got invited a couple of times to this cosplay convention in Maine. Okay, I'm gonna go check out. And then the big one I'm gonna go to is I've signed up for PowerCon this year.
Oh, it's funny you say that. I booked my hotel a few hours ago.
Nice.
Yeah, this is my first time ever going to PowerCon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Pumped. I don't know if it looks like it's you. Do you happen to know? Does that one travel, or is that usually in the same place?
I think it's in Ohio. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's my first time too.
Yeah, I was looking at pictures earlier, and it's like PowerCon Anaheim, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm excited because that's only I'm driving. It's a 6-hour trip. I got my little posse. Nice. Of people, so I'm really pumped for that. It'll probably be the biggest non-Star Wars convention I have ever been to. Hi, wife. Thank you. How was kickboxing? Was it good? What did you get me to drink? Whiskey? You're the best. Cheers, everybody. Take my pills. And as long as I'm sitting here, I just saw a good one. Daniel says that the year wait time is nothing if you know Super 7. Listen, I think that nobody can compare to Mezco at this point.
Oh, yeah.
They got stuff coming out. I've had my store open now. We've crossed the 2-year mark. And I have people asking me about Mezco stuff. And the stuff they're asking me about has been sold out since I opened the store on pre-order. So, the Ghost Rider. Sheesh.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. I got a dozen of them. trying to get another dozen or two, but yeah, their stuff goes crazy. I've never actually opened a Mezco. I'm very curious. I'm not sure how I feel about the all fabric stuff.
Hmm. I have a couple. I got a Deadpool, and then I have
Nice.
a what else? I got like a Moon Knight.
Nice. Yeah, I got to pick something up. I got to open. I think I'll open a Wolverine here soon.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm so behind on opening stuff. Let's see. Let's get through Azrael here, then I'll get to the other one. Oh, I like that picture.
that's 88 figs right there. Yeah,
Nice.
the other
Love
two I think was Figure Kingdom and then Realm of Toys. Yep,
Manny over at
88
Figure
figs.
Kingdom does a great job.
Yeah.
I'm an old school wrestling guy, so I absolutely love his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Kick out of it. Like he doesn't even know this. I think I might have told him recently, but like when I got my first office job years ago, I was contacting him and buying prints off of him. So I'm like, I need
Oh
to
really?
line my office up with non-toys, but close. All right. Is this the bird head?
No, so that's Gabriel. That's his more like a panther head.
Okay. It's
So it's more of his
animalistic.
beast.
I like it.
Yeah. So he has more like a when he's not winged. I figure he'd have more like a grounded head, and then when he is winged, he's got his the head right there, which is his more bird-like head.
So how many different sculptors did you work with to get this done?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, we well, I started with a designer who is Calvin Lowe.
Okay.
Um,
Is he
and
the one who used to
then
work for NECA? You're
no,
talking
I
about,
don't
or
think
no? That's
he
who
did
did
his
your packaging.
own. He did his own customs, and
Okay.
then he did like a really cool like Darth Revan sideshow style like custom. They did like a Kickstarter for, and then he also created a like this skull bike. I knew him through customs and stuff like that because I also that's where I kind of started was with customs, and then yeah with these just met a couple of guys with through a couple of Facebook groups to kind of help me flesh it out, and then Phil Alberton he kind of like took what I had and we just created something out of it.
Looks super cool. You have any plans to use the toys to flesh out any, like, do any, I don't know how I'd put this, like, storytelling, basically? Like, obviously, it's the Bible, but do you
Mhm.
have any plans to use them to try to do any sort of storytelling to try to make it, I don't want to say educational, but to try to give some character to the character?
Yes, yeah. So the plan is I want to create a graphic novel about it.
Oh, awesome.
It takes place 30,000 to 15,000 years ago. In my imagination, time was different then, where the world was spinning at a much faster rate. So days were like almost years.
That's
So like
awesome.
so generations would like span longer. Um, so yeah, so then they're kind of like these beings that give humans direction and help guide them to modern civilization.
Huh. I like it. So did you start writing that yet, or are you just literally drawing things on a piece of paper at this
Oh,
point?
I think on a piece of paper, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've
That's
written
kind of
stuff.
how
I
I
have
do.
notes, but yeah,
Like, I have random things in my head that I'd like to put into a comic one day, like a graphic novel.
yeah,
I think I can write one. I think I can write one pretty well. Could never draw one. Like, it's gonna be like I'm gonna have to like commission an artist, and I'll have to give him like stick figures. This guy shoots that guy.
yep.
Pow. That's all I can do.
I did film when I was my previous life. So we did a lot of like storyboarding. Like that's where
Okay.
we take the stick figure, do all the shots and
I
stuff.
was gonna ask. That was on my list of questions. What's your background that brought you to here? Besides,
So it
like,
was
obviously the hobby part is the customizing, but like from a business and a knowledge standpoint.
so I've always been into art. Growing up with art around me. My parents they owned an art gallery back in like the 80s and 90s. It was pretty big. It was the original art to children's picture books. So we would travel across the country and just like meet with different artists and go to different shows, and we'd have our own like galleries as well. And then from there, just I was always creative. Just wanted to create stories and draw and just have my own like toys. Like that's what I've always wanted. And then in college, I went to college for film and sociology. Originally, it was going to be theology, but yeah, so I wanted to be a filmmaker, and then but it kind of didn't really pan out. Got life kind of kicked in where I had to find a real job.
Yeah.
It's harder to find the filmmaking stuff, so I kind of was doing that on the side, and then yeah, I just always been wanting to do something creative and on my own. And then the kind of like the pandemic when that hit, it kind of set me in a path where I was like, all right, this is the time to do it. So
Seems to be a very common story right now for a lot of
yeah,
us. The pandemic part of it, where
yeah,
that's the ignition, where we all kind of set
yeah.
off and said, "Screw off, corporate America." Now, are you 100% full time now, or is this still a moonlighting thing?
This is pretty much full time for me. Yeah, right now. I'm also doing just web development, web design stuff. That's my major, and that's what my background now is web design, web development. So,
Man, I wish I had that.
yeah.
I'll tell you, it would make it so I don't, when I have to do any custom coding on the back end, it would make me not have to go to ChatGPT and be like, "Hey, make this red and change the font."
Yeah.
It would make my life a lot easier. Uh, so coming in to this toy industry, the business end, what surprised you the most?
Just that I think it's the networking, like how closely networked everybody is. Where I could talk to a guy that worked at Hasbro, and he would totally give me direction and help on creating stuff. Just the willingness to help others, I think it's been amazing. Just how it is just it truly is a community. Everybody just kind of coming together. Um, and just that there's been a lot. I mean, there have been a lot of like positive influence with this. A lot of positivity about the line. But yeah, no, just amazing. Just that we're just such a tight knit community, but it's like so broad that you can just
Yeah.
yeah,
It's a very interesting community because I feel like on the business end, everybody's pretty tight knit. But then,
hmm
like, whew, that influencer end, some of those guys are at each other's throats.
yeah,
It's pretty kind of funny to watch. Like I was telling my wife, I'm like, so I got the newest wrestling game on the PlayStation. I'm like, I'm gonna create all the other YouTubers and we're gonna have a Royal Rumble. But
yeah.
that's way too much work for me. It took me long enough to make me. Oh.
Yeah.
So let me think. I had a couple other questions I wanted to ask you. What do you Oh, actually that's what I wanted to do. Chat. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just adjusting my pillow.
Oh, you go right ahead. I'm trying to keep my mind straight. I'm not normally like this is normally bedtime, so my brain's a little confused right now. There was a question. There was a couple questions. Oh, here we go. Daniel, what are the plans to do as far as future Angels and releases in general?
So right now, I mean, reality is like we're gonna probably have to do a right now we're gonna have to probably do a second Kickstarter for the rest of the line, just because I mean the way the tooling costs works, it's just gonna be it's a bit. I mean, I want to say I'm not a holy man, so I'm I love a miracle from God, but I play it for the flood,
Yeah.
but pray for salvation. So I think with that. But as far as the general like idea of everything, yes, what's going to happen is in the next line of figures, when we go into the Old Testament and the New Testament and the stories of the Bible, these characters will carry on in those lines. We'll have a legendary scale, at the four horsemen and the three archangels, because they kind of are the glue to kind of how the whole story will go on. They'll have sort of different armor as well, but they'll be
Nice.
still recognizable as what they are. So
Nice.
yeah,
Beautiful sculpts. I agree with you there, my friend. Canadian
yeah,
survivalist says he wants to make some figs. Hey, listen, you get some stuff, you can come on and talk to me about it, brother. Oh, so what else you got to tell everybody? What else? What do you guys want to know? Anything else? Hit me in the comments. Usually, I haven't done a nighttime live stream in like 9 months. Not as many people here as there are during the day. Apparently, I'm more interesting during the workday, which is accurate.
With the sculpting and stuff, one thing we just want to do is I wanted to take elements from different cultures and different religions and different backgrounds as well. So you'll see different elements in there where you'll see with Michael's armor. You don't really see it in the some of the pictures because he doesn't have his armor on him, but he has a darker skin tone, and he's going to be and he has more African and South American elements to him, like Aztec.
Let's see.
Whereas, Gabriel is going to be more Middle Eastern, and then the actual four horsemen, they're going to be more like translucents and grays and pales and stuff like that, where they're not going to have real human skin tone to them.
Nice. Let me look. I wanted to see here. Da 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 da. Almighty Legends Kickstarter. This is where I should probably use bookmarks better. I wanted to see here one more time. So there's Azrael and Gabriel, Michael, Raphael, Leonardo. No, I'm just kidding. All right, 4 horsemen. That's what I wanted to see. These are what I'm excited for. You said these are going to be at a bigger scale.
So they're all well. So I say bigger scale because they're all legend scale. Because the plan is these are going to be the base for giants and legendary heroes, and then I'm going to be actually moving also to have 4-inch figures as well, or 1/18 scale.
Okay.
Kind of like with Joy Toy does, where they're 1/18 and they're 1/24 scale. I'm kind of scaling it one size up, going 1/18 and 1/12.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
So
Now, as
you
far as
have
like the basic figures, what are they? Are they 1/12 like the Azrael and whatnot?
these are all the 4 horsemen are all going to be this whole line is all 6-inch, 6.5-inch or 1/12 scale figures.
That's one of those things that interests me. How did we end up that was 6.5 inch for 1/12 scale? People ask
I
me that
know.
all the time. They're like, well, was it true 1/12 scale? I'm like, let's be honest here. There is no such thing. I blame Hasbro.
Yeah.
They started this, and then now everybody does it.
Well, I'm starting to blame Mezco because Mezco's 1/12s are a lot smaller than all the other 1/12s.
That's because they're probably true 1/12s. You know, it's
Oh,
interesting.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mafex, they've taken a lot of heat for it because they were like trying to get as close to accuracy as possible. And I remember a few years ago, a Wolverine came out that was only 5.6 inches, which technically they upscaled him because Wolverine's between 5'3" and 5'5" in the comics. And people were like, hey, they made him too small. It's always interesting to see. Always interesting. I really like the packaging on these. I think it's gonna look really cool. I hope that big hands can manage to not destroy them upon opening.
We have a magnetic door on it, so it'll be like it'll open up a little magnet. So
that's pretty cool.
A little clasp. Yeah,
that is indeed pretty cool. Then we have the armor pack. Tell me about this.
So this I'm putting in there because, again, I know that we're not going to probably hit all of our stretch goals. My hope and my expectations we'll get to at least Michael. Like that's the big goal to unlock Michael. So what I'm doing is I'm putting in these in with the initial run because I'll have the tooling already set up to have these exclusive Kickstarter convention armor packs. These will only be sold on Kickstarter and at conventions, and they're going to be a limited run because it's just going to hit the MOQ, and that's where we're going to sell. MOQ, minimum order quantity. So they'll come in single packs and 2 packs, and you'll have either the Azrael armor or the Gabriel armor with alternate head, like their alternate head.
Nice.
And you'll be able
that's a nice little addition. That makes sense from a business standpoint too.
Yeah.
There's Azrael with his awesome base. Might be my favorite part of this entire thing. Like Dacre just said, there's your first stretch goal. Yep. Gabriel. Feel like guys are going to really want him.
Yeah, he's and again with this whole thing with the retailers, we're going to be able to hit that stretch goal a lot quicker now. So we won't. A lot of
How are
people
you
were
looking
saying,
on
"Oh, that's
retailers aside from Big Bad? Has anybody else went live yet?
not live yet." No, but I am talking with the 5K toys.
Oh
They're
yeah,
doing, yeah.
they do a lot of
Jason.
import stuff.
So he can just he'll take directly from the factory with that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get to that point one day. I've been getting
Yeah, so
stuff in
that's
directly from China, and it's a journey.
yeah.
Da, 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 famine. We're not going to hit
The-
these yet, but I'm hoping.
no,
What were you going to try to do a second Kickstarter for those
second
guys?
Kickstarter. Yeah, second Kickstarter or a pre-order or something that we can do to get it going.
Yeah,
Because I think these need to be done. We need
yeah.
to have all these.
What kind of
And the
timing do
nice
you
thing is,
think as far as launching another wave, so to speak?
yeah, and it'll be good too because we'll already have the base body built, and this will
Yeah,
just basically just be tooling for heads and accessories, the armor, the because then these ones won't have wings, so they're going to be actually less money as well because they're only $40 on the Kickstarter, and they'll
nice,
probably just a little bit more for retail.
very nice.
And you're not some of these you're not going to actually see, you don't see the alternate heads that are coming with them. They all do come with alternate heads as well.
So, were you surprised by how much it cost to make one action figure? Because I was when I found out.
Yeah, I was freaking out like about a week before we were doing this, and I was just going over final numbers and adding them all up. I'm like, dude, it's a lot of money. But
It
yeah,
really is, and then you look at the numbers, and it's like, man, whew, it's scary. But
yeah.
you know what they
But part
say?
of it too is that because I don't have that background in the actual like the toy industry, so the tooling costs and like that stuff and the design costs. It's that's why it's kind of built into the cost of these.
Yeah,
I have the brain
I
memory.
can imagine. I can certainly imagine because I do know the numbers, and they are not pretty. They're
Yeah,
not pretty. It's going to be very interesting one day when manufacturing on this kind of stuff moves out of China.
yeah.
So I don't know how anyone's going to make anything.
Well, we're looking. We actually were approached by Columbia.
Okay.
They're actually doing manufacturing now with plastics. One of the issue why we kind of went with China was that China, they have the market cornered on white paint, which is a weird thing. Like they get white. Um, they have that's where you have to go.
Huh. Well, that's
Yeah,
different.
yeah.
Let
But
me just
I think
say
also
that if
too
I could,
Columbia.
if you make action figures in Colombia, I would want to go just to relive the Bolivia scene from Scarface. Like I would just go up to random figures, be like, "Oh, you
Yeah,
got good stuff, man. You got
yep.
good stuff
All
here."
good. Yes, true plastic crack.
Oh, I've heard. I heard that the next big manufacturing hub though is going to be in random African countries.
Hmm.
So very curious to see. It seems like
Yeah.
our world's about to be turned upside down. So hopefully that
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
happen.
Right.
I like. I was scrolling through something today, and it's like American dollar to no longer be world currency, and I'm like, oh,
Oh
that
yeah.
would suck.
Dismals. Yeah.
That would suck.
Yeah.
How much for one figure, guys? For those of you, I saw a couple questions. Base price is, I believe it's 45. Yes,
Yes.
45
45
for the ones
for
on Kickstarter now. It'll be 55 on retail, so you save $10 if you buy it on the Kickstarter. For those of you who are thrifty like me. Trying to think if there's anything else we could talk about here. I feel like we kind of covered everything.
Yeah, I think we did.
What's your last words for people? What do you got? What do you
Um, keep sharing, pledging. If you can, increase your pledge by like $10. If you've already put in there, just every dollar counts. And if you get like a friend or a family member that could pledge too, all the numbers that just seeing those numbers will keep adding up. And I just want to thank everybody, for helping me with this project. We've done really really amazing job. Kudos to everybody because 40 days, we're kicking butt still. So I'm really thankful and proud to be able to share this with you guys. And, we're gonna have something pretty amazing next week or so. So
Oh, Canadian survivalist. Yes, we are going to. Sorry, my brain's going in different modes. I'm like Yoda tonight. Tooling, many, many dollars. I believe the number that I had heard thrown around was in the area of 25,000 per figure. Does that sound about right?
Yep. It's about 25 to 30,000. For me, it's a little bit more because of the wings.
Okay.
For the winged figures, it's going to be more because I have also got 50 points of articulation. I've got armor pieces that's all removable. I've got weapons. I've got extra hands. I've got extra heads, and the base as well. So it's just making sure that But I've also negotiated where originally it was going to be a lot more because of the what they call the minimum order quantity, where you have to order a certain amount of figures to even be considered with the manufacturing. Originally, we were at 5,000 units, and now we're at 3,000. So,
oh wow, that's actually a lot lower than I thought. I didn't think you'd get anything done for under 10,000 nowadays.
yeah,
So,
yeah, that 10,000 would have crippled me. I would.
yeah. So with
Yeah.
with tooling, that word gets thrown around a lot. That's essentially what? Designing the molds?
Design the molds, and then like each piece of articulation that goes into it, it has to be tooled. Each figure has individual tooling just for that figure to go onto the plate. That's injected with the molding.
Yeah, for those of you who wonder why they reuse bodies, that's why.
Yeah, that's why That's why this whole thing where it's a large initial goal, because we're gonna get the tooling for the wings, and we're gonna get the tooling for the body, and we're gonna get the tooling for actually both figures. So for Azrael and Gabriel, that tooling is already included in the initial Kickstarter, along with the Kickstarter 10%, all the shipping and all that jazz that comes with that.
10%? Man, I'm in
Yeah.
the wrong business.
Yeah. That's why I'm like looking at something else maybe other than Kickstarter. Yeah, they charge 5% from them, and then they charge 5% for like fulfillment. So
Fulfillment. What does that consist of on their end? Now I'm just curious.
think
Do
it's
they
like
actually do the fulfillment themselves?
no, like for I don't know if it's the credit card processing or it's I have to remember. I'll have to look it up what it
Yeah,
was,
that's
but it was like
crazy.
some sort of like a fulfillment fee that they charge that comes from like them to go to transfer the money to me, or however
Yeah.
that works.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah,
Like, I mean, I think I'm at like 2.5% for transaction fees, and I'm still shopping that around.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I know, but as you look back on the last couple toy lines to make the transition from Kickstarter to toy line, it seems like it's the third to fifth wave that they no longer have to use Kickstarter. They've built enough of a name.
Right.
And, I think everyone kind of jumps to Mythic Legions first, and that is a good one. They have a very unique model with, hey, we're just going to do one printing. You pre-order or Getty, or unless you
Right.
want to go pay at a retailer.
Yeah.
Valaverse, when that stuff, like, took me by storm. I bought my first batch, like, a year and a half ago, and it didn't really move very quickly. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm not going to bother with this. But then I saw the second, I forget what happened, but I'm like, I'll get a couple more. And they were gone in like a minute.
Yeah.
And now I can't keep the stuff in stock. Like, I think Bobby's going to end up blocking me at some point because I'm always like, yo, man, you got some stuff? You got some good stuff? Like, I feel bad. But I'm like, give me the stuff. Come on. Yeah, it's exciting for me as a toy guy to see all of you guys succeed. Because I think that, I know that we're all frustrated with the world that is corporate manufacturing and corporate everything. So I think it's great that we're starting to see some big time changes and seeing some, new companies come up, and hopefully in 50 or 60 years, your future kin, your kiddos are going to be taking over like the new version of Mattel. So
Well, that's what my hope is. I have one of my daughters, she has a special needs, so I'm kind of setting up like a future for her so that she'll always have a job and
That's
she'll always
awesome.
have somewhere that she can work. So that's kind of like my whole personal purpose of the Almighty Legends and Totally Rad Creations.
Yeah, I
It's just
mean,
something for like my
that's like
kids
our
and parents.
dream. I think that's all of our dream as parents is
Yeah.
to like set our kids up so that they don't, have to. They have something in the back pocket.
Yep.
I screw with my kids though. I tell them they're not allowed to even come into the business until they have a degree.
Oh wow.
They're like, "Well, you don't have a degree." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's why I had to start and do this from scratch." Oh, all right. Well, I am going to say let's wrap this up, guys.
All right.
Hopefully, we get a lot of views on the replay. If you guys have any questions, you can hit me up. You can hit the Q&A that's on Kickstarter. I assume that's on there.
Yep.
We got, 20 days left on this?
I think only 11 now. I think we're down to
Yep,
11
it
days.
is 11. My sense
So
of
10.
timing sucks.
Yeah.
What
It's
is
gonna
that,
be
Easter?
yeah, I kind of miscalculated because I didn't realize that like Lent it doesn't include the Sundays. So so it's like I did 45 days and I was like, okay, I got 5 days after Easter, I'm good. But then I was like, oh wait, no, they don't count Sundays. So it's actually be Holy Saturday that it will end.
Okay,
So I'll wake
cool.
up Easter morning.
Nice.
Yeah.
And the Easter Bunny will bring you that good old Kickstarter cash
Yeah.
minus their cut.
Exactly.
You better not mess that up. You better cut or they're going to send